What is up, guys? Welcome in. My name is Nick and welcome to the channel. You join me today behind the wheel of the AMG GT3 in the GT Hopper here at Road America. Now, it's a circuit I very much enjoy, but not one that I am particularly quick at, it must be said. We're just going to go around for a first one here. We're looking to get back into the swing of things, getting back to the racing grind here, as it's been a little while over the Christmas period since we've been able to drive anything aggressively. On our first qualifying lap here, we're going to drift a little bit wide on the left-hander here and just drop a wheel into the grass. That's going to cause us to skip lap. Now we come through here, we finally posted time. It's a very not competitive 2:08.5, and you'll see here that there's a slight issue. I'm going to pause the video so you can see what that is, and if you do find it, let me know. Do me a favour, don't pause it. Do try and find out what that is in live time and drop me a comment. Let me know what you think it is. So we're coming through here, we find half a second through the first section of the lap. As we come out of the Coliseum section towards the kink, we're about just over a second up. Not quite able to keep that flat. There is a little bit of a confidence lift there. We don't lose any time, but we're racing down the back straight here, and as we come around to the final section, you will probably spot the issue that we're going to come into now. As we go through the final corner, we only have about 10 seconds left before the end of the session, so even though we get a good run out, we're about 1.6 seconds ahead of our projected time. We are not going to unfortunately post the time there. We needed about another 6 or 7 seconds to be able to get that over there, so it would have been around a low 2:06, I think 2:06.7, 2:06.8, depending on how it read that final corner, but it was still good enough for P10. I am going to be starting this one from safety rating A after our last instance, and we've also got the safety rating, skill rating of 4731 after our slight issue in the touring cars around Hakone. I did do one off, or I did race one more, but I wasn't able to get a video out of it. It was at Le Mans, not a track I enjoy at all, and I just got punted off right at the very beginning, and yeah, there was no really usable footage for it, so we were a little bit lower than probably the last time you saw me. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. We are racing down here towards turn 1 after a relatively good start. We've managed to hold position. We do get an R8 up the inside of us through turn 1 here, so we're just going to concede that one. We're going to give him the apex here coming down into turn 2. Catch ourselves out a little bit, almost driving to the back of the Merc. It catches us a little bit out by surprise, and we get a little bit of tap from the Aston Martin behind us here as we run down the back straight. You can see the R8 is already starting to disappear off into the distance. We're trying to pick up a toe. We brake it nice and early to make sure we don't have any issues coming into the left-hander. We pull ourselves over a little bit just to incentivise no dives, please, and we managed to hold position here in P11. So we come through the left-hander, a little bit of an incident behind us with the Aston Martin and the Ferrari. There's also a bit of an incident in front of us with the 2 BMWs, so we're just going to slide our way through those, pick up a free position back up to P10. Come down here into the left-hander, the Aston Martin is going to drive straight into the back of us, so we're going to slide a little bit deep into the corner, but we managed to hold on to that one. He appears to be worse off than we were. Coming down here into the right-hander, we almost get taken out by the BMW, going very, very deep onto the brakes there. We have a look to see the the AMG in front of us goes very deep as well. We put ourselves on the right hand side. He carries a lot more speed through the corner, so we do the switchback, put ourselves on the left. As we come down braking to the right hander to start to the end of the lap, we get a little tap on our right hand side. That slides us off the track. Nothing we can do about that one, unfortunately. It's one of those very slow incidents where there's nothing you can do to avoid it. We will join the track as slowly as possible to make sure we give people plenty of room to get around us as we come back to the start finish straight to end lap 1 down in P17. However, that is going to change. As you can see, we have the Ferrari Challenge behind us, otherwise known as the Ferrari Cruise Missile, as it flies past us. So we're actually P18. The only person we're ahead of is an AFK. So coming down to the left-hander, we didn't have to wait long until we capitalised from some issues there. As we go through left-hander, we pick up 2 free positions up to P16. We get right onto the back of this Dodge Viper in front of us as well. Going through the left-hander, we hold that nice and cleanly, and as we come into the Coliseum section, we get caught out a little bit by the brake lights there. It puts me a little bit wide, but everyone else in front of us is also having a terrible line through this corner, so we managed to catch back up before we come to the kink. We've got a Lamborghini, I think that is, on the left-hand side rejoining track, so we put ourselves on the right. Half ended up in a move going through the kink, not really something I was intending to do. We have another car out to the left-hand side. It appears to be a Ferrari, and we managed to get up to P14 after all that. So not much really happened for about a lap or so. The Dodge Viper again getting Coliseum section all kinds of wrong here, so we're just going to see if we can get up onto the back of him. Not quite close enough to get a move before the kink. It's not really somewhere I want to be 2x2 going through this, so we're going to back off and let him keep that position. We appear to be a lot quicker than him, so we're just going to see if we can tuck in. We're managing to get P14 here by the end of lap 4. We go past the AFK player there, already lapping him 3 or 4 laps into the race. We are are nice and close. I'm just trying to see if I can psych him out. I would look to see if there's a little bit of a lunge. He brakes a little bit too late. We cut back across the curb in there, and we managed to get on the power nice and smoothly, and we're going to look to see if we can pick up the toe. Coming down straight under the bridge here, we are closing up the gap nice and quickly here. Put ourselves on the left hand side, get the move done nice and early down the straight, and as we start braking, I thought he was further alongside me than he was, so I say very, very close to the left. We block it on the apex to make sure we can't get the switchback, and we get that position done. We are up to P13. So coming into the end of lap 4, my tyres are still looking pretty good. Everyone else is deciding to pit to do the double medium strat. We're going to see if we can eke out a lap and maybe get on to softs for some quicker speed at the end of it. So we are pitting from, we are staying out in P12, which does actually manage to increase to P6 by the time we capitalise on the people who have pit in front of us as well, which actually ends up being P5 after everything's all said and done. So all we're looking to do is be nice and smooth through this lap here. As you can see, as we came towards the end of that straight and down this back straight, we've just flicked into minor wear on the left hand side here, so we're just going to be looking to nurse these tyres around this lap here. The rears are just tricked as well, and as we go through this left hander, we're a little bit out of shape, not quite as much grip as I was expecting. That slides us a bit. We have the leader of the race here behind us, so we're just going to get ourselves out of the way. We're not racing this guy at all. Don't make him work too hard for that one. Yeah, breaks himself a little bit, but we managed to tighten ourselves up, running nice and wide over the curb in there, keeping the lap nice and clean. We have the Corvette behind us as well, so we're going to do exactly the same thing here. We're going to give him the apex because we're not fighting for this guy. We're just trying to minimise our total losses. So he gets past here, so neither of us are slowed down particularly much on this lap here. And as we come through to end the lap here, we are going to be pitting from P7, and we're looking to see if we can improve our position where we pit before P12. As we are in pit lane, this is a time where I ask you if you can drop me a like, leave me a comment, and if you are enjoying it, do please subscribe for plenty more in the future. As we come back onto the track here, we have two cars flying by us on the start-finish straight. We come out P12, so we managed to hold position on that. And we moved across the left-hand side until there was no one coming in down behind us, so we can get the best run through turn 1. We appear to be closing in pretty quick on the Audi in front of us. He pit early and is on the mediums. He goes very late on the brakes here, coming through the left-hander towards Coliseum. We managed to get past there up to P11, so that is a nice free position there. And we're now just looking to chase down this KTM. We're about 1.9, now down to 1.7 seconds, coming through the end of lap 6. So we have one lap to try and get this move done. By the time we come out of the final corner, we're almost down to 1.3, 1.2 seconds. Problem with this car is it's going to be very, very quick in a straight line. It's the GT2 KTM, so we managed to close up with our better grip through turn 1. As you can see, through turn 2 as well, we do manage to close all the way up to within half a second. But by the end of the straight, he is going to pull that out by another couple of tenths or so because of its straight line speed. So yeah, 0.6. We brake a little bit. It got a little bit squirrely under the braking there, so I just had to open the steering up as it tried to spin out on me, so we don't have the best run through the corner there. We do manage to close the gap back up through the left-hander, and we are right on the back from now within half a second. Through the right-hander, we managed to close up a little bit more on the run down here towards the Coliseum section. You can see we are now within half a second. We close right up onto the back of him, so this is really going to be our best chances of getting a good exit out of here using our superior grip to get on the power earlier. We have a nice smooth run through the corner, get on the power, pick up the curb in, but we just unsettle the car a little bit and we drift a little bit wide onto the grass, and that is pretty much going to be that. We are still about a second behind him, but the leader has just finished the race. We've only got a couple of straights here and the long straight, couple of corners and long straights as well. We do end up posting the best time, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough to get us inside of the top 10, and we will finish P11 there. So not a bad run at all. We managed to unfortunately lose a place off of the grid, but after being run off and dropping back down to effectively last, ending P11 is pretty good in my book. We didn't really have the pace to get much better than where we were, but anyway, we'll move on to the next one, and that one being at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So once again, we're going to take the Merc out here. This time you'll see that we are once again also very tight on time. I was very late into this lobby here, but it's fine. What we're going to do is mess up the first of our qualifying attempts and go off track here. So we are going to once again skip lap and try this again, and this time we managed to post a 1:24.7, so that is about 2 seconds off of pole. So again, not massively quick, but a respectable enough time. We found a little bit more time through the first sector, about 2 tenths. We dropped that through the middle sector down to just under a tenth. Find that back again to another couple of tenths there, and improve to a 1:24.4. So it's about 1:24.1 potential maybe for that lap there. So again, probably about the best as we could get. I think I was about 6-7 tenths behind P9, so we're going to once again start P10 on the grid here, focusing on getting a good start. I've been pretty good round Indy. This Merc, the way I've got it set up, seems pretty kind on tyres, so we're going to see if we can eke out these mediums once again. We get away nice and cleanly. We have a check over to the left hand side to make sure we've got room to move over, so we can have the best run through turn 1. Braking nice and early, just before the 100 mark, about 125 before the corner. We get a little tap behind us. Just going to see if we can open up steering. We are quite tight coming through the second turn here, and we managed to lose a position to the V8 supercar in front of us, so we're just going to see if we can get through this turn as neatly as possible. We do pick up a free position of a guy going off into the gravel there, so we're back up to P10. Managed to keep the Bentley behind us as well, and we're just going to see if we can hold on to this coming down the back straight. We break up again a little bit earlier. The V8 supercar swerving all over the track there as well. I was worried I was going to go into the back of him, but we managed to hold on to it. Still P10 coming through the middle sectors. Not really much of an overtaking move through there unless someone makes a massive mistake, and we're just going to see if we can have a look here on the V8. He brakes a lot earlier than I was expecting. We get a little clip off the wall. The Bentley very capitalising on that greatly, diving up the inside with the earlier braking point of the V8 supercar. So we are back down to P11, coming through the final corners here, heading back to start finish straight. We get on the power nice and smoothly. We get on there a lot more than the V8 in front of us. We give him a little tap behind us. We have to back out the throttle, and we still haven't managed to get an overspeed on him down the start finish straight, so see if we can capitalise on this by the end of the straight. Braking again just before the 100 board, diving in towards there. We get a little bit wide coming through the second part, a little bit of understeer mid corner, but we managed to get the move done. A little bit of oversteer on exit as well, but we do manage to hold on to P10. We go a little bit defensive through the right hander here just to make sure we can't cut back on us. Now the worry is down the straight here, because he's a lot quicker than me in a straight line being the supercar, and he does have the toe as well, so we're just going to see if we can hold on to this. I'm not really going to go too defensive on it. If he's going to make the move, he's going to get it done. He does come up the inside of us. He does manage to pass us, but he has to brake a lot earlier. We sling it around the outside, leave him space on the apex. We have to make immediate avoiding action from the Bentley there, which was a bit of a jarring thing as I was checking to make sure where the V8 supercar was coming into the corner. So we managed to somehow navigate that incident as well, gain a couple of positions up to P8, and managed to hold off the attack from the V8 supercar behind us as well. Now what we're looking ahead of us here is we can see a couple of cars scrapping, so we might be able to pick up another couple of positions here. We've got the Audi right behind us. I take a little bit too much curb coming through the final corner here. That just compromises my run. The Audi with the toe managed to get comfortably in front of me before the turn 1. He does brake a lot earlier, but I'll leave the space on the inside so he can swing around there. Holds me tight through the second corner and manages to hold on to that though there. So we drop down to P9. As we come through here, as the sun brightens up, we are slowly catching on the Corvette in front of us as well. Just looking to see out the last corner here. We get a much better run. We do get up to P8 with someone pitting early, and as we come around through here, we're looking to see if we can pick up another couple of positions. This is the middle part of the race, lap 5 out of 11. We've got someone else pitting as well, so I'm assuming these people were on softs maybe and looking to go softs, mediums or softs, hards, but we get up to P7, so I wasn't expecting people to pit until sort of lap 7 really. We've got a few more people pitting this lap here as well, so it's from the beginning of lap 7, so this is when the medium tyres would be pitting, is what I was expecting. So we actually pick up the toe of this Corvette as we come down the start finish straight here, and we are actually P1 and P2 on track. Literally everyone else in front of us is in the pit lane, so we're looking to see if we can get a good clean run here. We brake a little bit earlier. The Corvette really doesn't leave me much room on the apex, so I have to cut across the inside the track. We hold off on the throttle to make sure we don't pick up any form of penalty, so we will sit behind him for the remainder of this lap here, P2, and at the end of the lap we will pit, so see if we can go back to softs once again. The tyres were fading just as we crossed the start finish straight, so we managed to get another lap out of that, but there really wasn't much life left in them at all. So as we are in pit lane, this is the time where I will ask you once again, if you are enjoying this, do drop me a like, leave me a comment, let me know, and do please subscribe for plenty more content in the future. So as we come out, we will slot behind the BMW here into P9. He does have a 0.2 of a second penalty, so we're not necessarily needing to pass him, we just need to be close to him, and with the soft tyres here, we have a much better ability to go onto the brakes a lot later than he does. As you can see how much we catch up through the left-hander coming into the middle part of the lap. Again, through this right-hander at the end of the lap, we managed to stop and turn in and have a lot more grip than he does, so we do close right up to the back of him within half a second now. And as we swing back round on the right-hander, we do miss the apex a fair bit here, just a little bit of mid-corner understeer. I don't know if it's to do with the aero or something, but yeah, we didn't have the greatest run on the final corner here. He is looking to have a look at the inside of the Dodge in front of us, manages to outbrake him, box him out of the corner. The Dodge tries tries to cut back, but it doesn't really seem like there's anything else going on, so we are now stuck in this battle. You may have caught sight as we went past the start-finish straight as well that we were coming out in front of the Corvette we pit behind, so we have made up a net position by running 1 lap shorter than he did, making the undercut work. The BMW get all up close and personal through the left-hander and continues through this middle section of the sweepers here. I see if I can capitalise by sweeping around the outside, but the Dodge Viper managed to recover a bit better than I was expecting and boxed me out, and this puts the Corvette right on my inside as well. So after trying to make an opportunity to move on the two in front of us, I'm now actually going to be dropping a position to that Corvette as well. We have a look around the outside of the Dodge. He goes very wide, tries to box me in, he moves over a little bit and then cuts back across right in the braking zone, so I had to take some avoiding action to make sure we didn't both slide off into the pit lane there, to be honest. And we get the run out the final corner. We get a much better run than the Dodge, but the Corvette actually gets a much better run than me, and I was not expecting this, but he does slot himself in between us, so we are actually 3 wide running down the start-finish straight here. They are much quicker than me in a straight line as well, so I let off the throttle early, start braking, make sure we give a little Corvette a little bit of a tap, but it doesn't actually unsettle the car or anything like that, but we managed to capitalise on that. Now at some point this Dodge managed to pick up a 2.5 second penalty, but it doesn't really matter as he gets a little bit of oversteer coming through the second part of the corner there and fires off to the left hand side, so we are up to P8. We break ourselves into the left hander here for the middle part of the lap, so we drop back behind the Corvette and the BMW. We will have one final lap to see if we can make any final positions up here. We've got the V8 supercar ahead of us again, so we're looking, he's doing a no stop on this one, so we are looking to see if we can gain another position up here, so there could be a P5 in it if we can get all of this done in the final lap. He has got no grip left on his tyres, he gives me loads of space on the apex as we slide up the middle there, and this is what I wanted to see. The BMW and the Corvette are now fighting tooth and nail in the final corners here. The BMW does not want to give up this last position, so they are fighting into the right hander here off the banking. There are lots of clashing side by side. The BMW has gained up to a 0.7 of second of a penalty here, so all we need is a good exit out of the final corner here and we should be able to get P6. P5 is going to be a bit too much, unfortunately. He has an awful run coming out of the final corner. We have a much bigger overspeed. We go to the right, he goes to the right and tries to box us in on the wall, so I do full left unlock to make sure it doesn't happen, and we do manage to gain P6 after the penalty has been calculated. So with that said and done, we've increased our safety rating to S, and we are at 4761 in terms of skill rating, so we do make a bit of improvement back to 4.8k, and just confirmation there of P6 improvement of 4 places over our starting position. So first race was a bit of a meh after the runnings off the track, but the second one we managed to get a good position, not quite P5, but P6 is still pretty good. But yeah, it's been good to get back to the racing here, see if we can get up to 5k rating as soon as we can in 2024. But thank you very much for watching, guys. If you, as I say, once again, if you did enjoy this, do drop me a like, leave me a comment, and do please subscribe for plenty more videos in the future, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.